we're diving into something that could potentially make you millions. We're talking about the 1968 S Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that's worth an unbelievable $8 million. You heard that right? $8 million. So, if you've got one of these tucked away, stick around because we're going to explore how you can identify it, the history behind it, and if you're lucky, how you might just cash in. Let's jump right in. Now, let's get into what makes this coin so special. It's important to know exactly what to look for if you think you might have one of these rare pennies. Display close-up images of the 1968 S Mint Mark Lincoln penny. Focus on the details. First off, the 1968 South Lincoln 1-cent penny isn't just any regular penny. The S Mint mark stands for the San Francisco Mint, which produced a limited number of coins in certain years. The 1968 S, however, is a rare gem because it's a variety coin, a coin that was accidentally struck with an obverse die that was designed for a proof coin, making it a proof-like penny with unusual characteristics. Here's how to spot it. The coin's finish will look sharper and more polished than a regular penny. The details are incredibly crisp and sharp, with a reflective surface that's more commonly seen in proof coins, which are made with extra care for collectors. Look at the edge of the Lincoln Memorial, the lettering, and most importantly, the overall shine of the coin. That's the giveaway. Regular 1968 pennies won't have this much clarity. Also, the 1968S with this type of finish wasn't meant to be released into circulation. So if you've got one, it's a rare find. Alright, now that we know what makes the 1968 S Mint Mark penny special, let's talk about its history. The coin was part of the 1968 series, a pivotal year for the U.S. Mint. In 1968, there was a shift in production due to the rising cost of metals, and it marked the end of the use of copper in most pennies. But what makes this particular penny worth millions isn't just the mint year or material. It's the mistake. Some of these pennies were struck with a proof-like finish, and they ended up in circulation, which was an absolute fluke. No one really noticed at the time, but now, over 50 years later, coin collectors have realized just how rare and valuable they are. The 1968 S coin wasn't intended for circulation, which is why the mistake wasn't corrected, and it has since become one of the holy grails for collectors. In 2018, one of these rare pennies was sold for an astounding $8 million at an auction. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. So, how can you check if you've got one of these elusive $8 million pennies? Let's walk through it together. The mint mark first. Make sure the penny you're checking has the S Mint mark located just beneath the date. This is crucial, as it confirms it was struck in San Francisco. The finish next. Look at the finish. Does the coin have that sharp, mirror-like quality? Does it reflect light in a way that other pennies don't? If it does, you may be holding something special. The inspection, use a magnifying glass to check for any other distinct features. You want to see a crisp and highly detailed design on the obverse, Lincoln's portrait, and the reverse, the memorial. If you notice these characteristics, you've got a coin worth investigating further. Alright, so you found a 1968 S penny, and it looks like it might be one of the rare, proof-like versions. Now, let's talk about grading. Coin grading is key to determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. The condition of your coin can drastically affect its price. A well-preserved 1968 S penny with a proof-like finish could fetch thousands in auction, while a lower-grade example might only get you a few $100s. To get your coin officially graded, take it to a certified coin grading service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. This will ensure the authenticity and condition of the coin before you try selling it. So, you've got your coin graded and it's officially verified as a high-value item. What next? Here's how you can sell it. You can sell your coin through a reputable auction house like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers Galleries. These auction houses have global reach, and they specialize in rare coins. They'll get your penny in front of the right buyers who are willing to pay top dollar for it. Alternatively, you can list your coin on specialized coin-selling platforms, but make sure you're working with trusted, experienced buyers who understand the value of these rare pennies. If you have the right 1968 S penny, The journey from your collection to a bank account filled with cash could be one incredible ride. So, there you have it. The 1968 S-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a rare coin with the potential to make you an instant millionaire. If you think you've got one, don't just hold on to it, get it checked, graded, and see what it's worth. And, of course, if you want to stay updated on the latest coin finds and valuations, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below about your own coin hunting adventures. We've got a special episode for you. If you've ever wondered if that old penny in your jar could be worth millions, well, today's topic is going to blow your mind. What you're looking at right now is not just any ordinary penny. This is the infamous 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, and believe it or not, some of these rare beauties have been known to sell for an astounding $3 million. Yes, you heard that right, $3 million. So, why is this coin worth such a fortune? And how can you identify one in your own collection? Stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this penny so rare and valuable. Plus, I'll walk you through how you could turn that dusty old penny into a treasure trove of cash. Let's dive in. So let's break it down. The United States Mint produces coins with mint marks that indicate where the coin was struck: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. In 1973, most pennies were produced with a D mint mark for Denver or no mint mark at all, indicating they came from the Philadelphia Mint. Normally, pennies from Philadelphia don't have a mint mark. But what makes the 1973 penny so exceptional is the fact that some of these coins were struck without a mint mark and still turned out to be one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever discovered. Now, this might sound a bit confusing, so let me explain further. The 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny was not supposed to exist. In fact, every penny from the 1973 production run should have either a D mint mark from Denver or none at all from Philadelphia. However, there was a very small batch of these pennies that had no mint mark and still came out of the Philadelphia Mint, making them incredibly rare and valuable. So why does a small mistake on a penny lead to such an extraordinary price tag? Here's where things get interesting. For a coin to be worth millions, it has to meet certain criteria: rarity, demand, and the condition of the coin. For the 1973 no-mint mark penny, it's all about how few of them actually made it out of the mint, combined with the high demand from collectors looking for a piece of history. Now, here's the kicker. These coins were never officially documented as a rarity. As a result, they went unnoticed for years in circulation. But as the years passed, collectors began to notice something unusual. A small handful of 1973 pennies with no mint mark were showing up, and they had a much finer detail and texture compared to typical pennies of the same year. This small batch of flawed coins was eventually discovered, and with it came a rise in value. Today, finding one of these rare coins in pristine condition could land you up to $3 million at auction. How can I find one of these rare pennies in my collection? Let's go over the key things to look for. First, check the year on the coin. You'll want to see the 1973 date clearly visible. Next, check for the mint mark. Here's where it gets crucial. The 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny should have no mint mark at all. This is what sets it apart from other pennies, like the ones minted in Denver with the D mark. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if it's in good enough condition to be worth millions? Well, condition matters a lot. The better the condition, the more valuable the penny. Look for a coin with clear details, minimal wear, and no discoloration. If it's in mint or near mint condition, you're looking at a potential fortune. So, let's say you found one of these rare pennies and you're thinking of cashing in. What's the next step? Well, the first thing you'll need to do is get it appraised by a professional coin dealer or a grading service. Companies like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, are two of the most trusted in the industry. They'll evaluate the authenticity and condition of the coin, which is key to determining its value. Once your coin has been graded, you can sell it through a number of channels. High-end auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers are known for handling rare and valuable coins. Alternatively, you could sell it to a private collector or coin dealer who specializes in rare finds. Just be prepared. If you happen to own one of these rare 1973 no-mint mark pennies, you could be selling it for a substantial amount. In fact, some have sold for up to $3 million in the past. So, there you have it, the 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. A coin that could be hiding in your collection and might be worth millions. If you're serious about selling old coins, keep in mind that rarity and condition are key factors in determining a coin's value. Always do your research, and never be afraid to consult with a professional to get the true value of your find. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin tips, and leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin in your collection. We're going to talk about a coin that could potentially make you $9 million richer. Yes, you heard that right. A penny worth millions of dollars. Stick around as we dive into the fascinating story of the 1979 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny and how it could be hiding in your collection. Alright, let's start with a quick history lesson. The 1979 Lincoln 1-cent penny was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but today, we're focusing on the 1979 D-Mint mark, the version that could be worth a small fortune. The regular 1979 pennies are worth, well, a penny, but there's one very rare error coin from this year that has left collectors in awe. A small mistake during its minting process turned this penny into something incredibly valuable. So what makes this coin worth millions? It's a mistake that makes it stand out from the rest. The 1979 D penny we're talking about was minted with an extremely rare double die error. That means that the design was struck more than once, causing a blurry, doubled image of Lincoln's profile and the words on the coin. And this wasn't just any simple misprint. This error is so prominent that it's become one of the most sought-after coins for collectors. Now, let's talk about the big bucks. You might be wondering, how did this penny go from being a simple, everyday coin to one worth $9 million? Well, a 1979 D double die penny was sold at auction for nearly $9 million back in the early 2000s, making it one of the most expensive pennies in the world. So, if you happen to own one of these, you could be sitting on an absolute gold mine, or should I say, penny mine. Now, here's the most important part. How can you tell if you've got one of these rare pennies? First off, take a good look at the mint mark on the coin. If it's AD, you're on the right track. But to spot the error, you'll need to look at the double die. Inspect Abraham Lincoln's profile. If the image looks a bit blurry, almost like it's been stamped twice, you've found the error. The most noticeable signs are the double outlines of Lincoln's face, the words on the coin, and the date. Many of us have old pennies sitting in drawers or jars around the house, thinking they're just junk. But with the right knowledge, these coins could be worth a fortune. The 1979 D double die penny isn't the only rare coin out there. There are tons of other valuable pennies, quarters, and even dimes that might be hiding in your collection. If you're watching this and wondering if that pile of pennies you've been collecting for years could be worth something, it's time to take a second look. If you think you've got one of these rare coins, you might be asking, how do I sell it for the best price? Well, there are a few options. First, you want to have your coin appraised by a professional. Look for coin dealers who specialize in rare and error coins. You can also check online platforms like eBay and heritage auctions, where these coins often go for record prices. But remember, when you're dealing with a coin this valuable, you want to make sure you're working with someone who knows exactly what they're doing to get you the best possible price. So, what do you think? Could you have a $9 million penny hiding in your collection? It's possible, but only if you know exactly what to look for. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more coin tips, and share it with your friends who love treasure hunting. And as always, if you've got any rare coins you want to talk about, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you've got. We're diving deep into a rare find, the 1985 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Believe it or not, this coin could be worth up to $5 million. Yes, you heard that right. Stick with me for the next few minutes to learn why this penny could be the jackpot you've been searching for, and what to do if you think you might have one. So, let's break this down. The Lincoln 1-cent penny has been in circulation since 1909, and it's no surprise that over the years, rare minting errors and varieties have caused certain pennies to skyrocket in value. But what makes the 1985 D-Mint mark penny so special? First off, you've got the D-Mint mark on the back of the coin. Now, for most of us, this is just another penny, but it's a bit different from your regular 1-cent coins. There's a very rare variety of the 1985 D Lincoln penny that was struck with an error during the minting process. The rare variety of the 1985 D Mint mark penny features a die clash error. This means that during the production process, two dies, the tools that stamp the design onto the coin, collided. This clash caused part of the design to appear in places it shouldn't have, creating a highly sought-after error. And it's not just any error, it's incredibly rare. As you can see, the die clash creates a ghostly image of the Lincoln Memorial, or sometimes parts of Lincoln's portrait, appearing in places where it shouldn't. This error is extremely difficult to spot if you don't know what you're looking for, so it's crucial to inspect your coins carefully. Now, why does this coin have such a crazy value? Well, let's put it into perspective. Coins with minting errors are rare to begin with, but when you're talking about a coin that's been in circulation for decades, you've got even more rarity on your hands. Not every 1985 D penny has the error, which means collectors are willing to pay big for the ones that do. Some of these coins have been sold at auctions for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And in some cases, they've been valued as high as $5 million. Of course, the value depends on the condition of the coin, but we're talking about an investment that could change your life. So how do you identify the 1985 D die clash error penny? Here's what you need to look for. First, check the D mint mark. It's located right below Lincoln's shoulder on the obverse, front, of the penny. If you see the Lincoln Memorial or parts of Abraham Lincoln's profile where they shouldn't be, that's your sign. Inspect both sides of the coin carefully, especially if the coin has some wear and tear. The die clash doesn't always show up prominently, so you'll need to look closely. Zoom in on the coin to highlight the error if you're still unsure. Don't worry. We'll get to how you can have your coin authenticated in just a minute. Alright, so now you think you've found the golden penny. What's next? You'll want to have your coin authenticated by a professional. There are many reputable companies that specialize in grading and authenticating rare coins. Some of the top names include PCGS and NGC. These companies will examine your penny and confirm whether it's the real deal. Once it's authenticated, you'll want to explore your options for selling it. Many rare coins like this are sold through auction houses. If your coin is confirmed to be authentic, expect the value to be recognized by collectors all over the world. You could also sell it to a reputable coin dealer, though auction houses often fetch higher prices. To wrap things up, the 1985 D Mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny with a die clash error is a true treasure that could be worth millions. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just getting started, it's important to know how to identify these rare coins and understand their true value. If you have a coin collection or if you found an old penny lying around, take the time to check it out. You could be sitting on a small fortune. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because you won't want to miss our next videos on other valuable coins. Let me know in the comments if you found any rare pennies, or if you have questions about identifying other valuable coins. We're diving deep into one of the most valuable pennies you might have sitting in your pocket right now, the 1988 D Mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. And trust me, this coin can be worth a lot more than you think. Stick around to find out how this seemingly ordinary penny could fetch up to $8 million, and learn how you can spot valuable coins in your collection that you might want to sell. Let's get into it. Now, before we dive into the $1 million valuation, let's quickly talk about what makes the 1988 D Mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny special. Most of the time, pennies from the 1980s are not worth much more than their face value, but the 1988 D is an exception. Produced by the Denver Mint, this coin was part of the regular annual series of pennies. But here's where it gets interesting. In certain cases, this penny can be found with rare errors or unique features that elevate its value. Whether it's a die break, a double die, or other minting errors, the 1988 D can hold serious value. But the one we're particularly talking about today has a super rare, almost mythical status in the numismatic community. Now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for. How could this coin be worth up to $8 million? Believe it or not, it's all about one very rare version of the 1988 D Lincoln penny that was found with a significant minting error. In 1988, a small number of pennies were struck with a severe double die error. What that means is that the design was imprinted on the penny twice, slightly offset from the original. This led to a unique, doubled image of Abraham Lincoln's portrait and the word liberty. Now, a coin like this is not easy to find, and it's also very tricky to authenticate, which makes it even rarer. When one of these rare double die pennies surfaced in the market, it was appraised and sold for a whopping $8 million at auction. That's right, $8 million. And it wasn't just any coin collector who bought it. It was a high-profile buyer who knew exactly what they were looking for. That's the kind of impact a rare coin can have. So, how do you know if you've got one of these rare, high-value pennies in your collection? Well, let's talk about the key signs that make a penny like the 1988 D worth millions. First, you'll want to look at the date and the mint mark. The D mint mark means it was struck in Denver, so this is crucial for narrowing down the exact coin we're talking about. Next, check for any errors, double dies, misstrikes, or any unusual features. A coin with even a slight misalignment or doubling in the design could be worth thousands or more. Make sure to use magnification tools like a loupe or a digital microscope, as the error could be very subtle and difficult to spot with the naked eye. Now, let's say you found a rare penny in your collection. You're thinking, this could be worth a fortune. Well, the next step is knowing how to sell it for top dollar. First, always get your coin appraised by a professional. You don't want to sell it for less than its actual value, especially when you could be sitting on a gold mine. Once you've had the coin appraised, the next option is to sell through a reputable auction house or a trusted coin dealer. Auction houses are great for rare coins because they attract serious collectors who are willing to pay top dollar. If you choose to sell to a dealer, make sure they are well-known and trustworthy. Don't just go to any old shop. Make sure they have a good reputation in the numismatic community. Even if your 1988 D penny doesn't fetch millions, the world of coin collecting is full of hidden treasures. Many people start collecting coins for fun and later discover that they have valuable pieces in their collections. Remember, coin values can fluctuate, and what seems like a modest penny today could become incredibly valuable in the future. It's about knowing what to look for and keeping an eye out for those rare minting errors. So, if you're new to coin collecting or you're just starting to look through your old coins, don't be discouraged if you don't have a fortune on your hands just yet. Keep researching, keep learning, and who knows? Maybe you'll find that hidden gem worth millions. Alright folks, that's all for today's video on the 1988 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. If you enjoyed this content and want to learn more about rare coins or how to make money from your collection, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Have any of you found rare coins like this? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. We're talking about one of the most fascinating finds in modern numismatics, the 1995 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny that's worth up to $5 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $5 million. But how do you find one? And how do you sell it for top dollar? Stay tuned, because we're breaking it all down. First things first, let's talk about how this particular penny became one of the most valuable coins out there. It all starts in 1995, when the U.S. Mint released the standard Lincoln 1-cent penny with a D Mint mark. But here's where it gets interesting. Most of the 1995 pennies are worth just 1 cent, maybe a little more if they're in perfect condition. However, a tiny handful of these pennies have something unique, an error that makes them incredibly valuable. It's a mistake that no one really expected to happen, and yet, it made headlines when it was discovered. So what's the big deal? The 1995 D penny is famous for a rare, massive minting error called the double die obverse. This means that the coin was stamped twice with the design, causing the letters and numbers to appear doubled, especially in areas like the Liberty and "In God We Trust" inscriptions. This error is so rare, and so few pennies were made with it, that it's not just a curiosity, it's worth a fortune. So, how do you identify this million-dollar coin in your collection? Let me show you exactly what you should be looking for. When you take a close look at the 1995 D penny, focus on the date and the inscriptions around Abraham Lincoln's portrait. You should see signs of doubling on these features, most notably on Liberty, where the letters appear to have a shadow behind them, giving a doubled look. Same goes for In God We Trust. Now, you may be asking, how rare is it to find one of these? Well, that's part of the allure. Only a very small number of these pennies with the double die error exist. Some estimates say less than a dozen in perfect condition. And that's why they're worth up to $5 million in certain cases. It's all about the rarity, the condition, and the demand from collectors. Now, you may be wondering, how do I know if my 1995 D penny is worth millions? Well, the answer is in the details. If your penny has visible doubling, especially on the Liberty or In God We Trust areas, it could be a key contender. But condition is everything. A well-preserved penny with sharp, clear doubling can fetch the highest prices. One of these pennies, graded as Mint State 67, sold at auction for $5 million back in 2018. But even a penny in lower grade condition could still be worth thousands. But remember, condition plays a huge role in the final value. The higher the grade, the more you can expect to get for it. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. If your penny is graded anything above a 60, you're in the game for a pretty substantial amount of money. So, let's say you think you've got a valuable penny on your hands. How do you sell it? The first step is to get it professionally graded. Look for a reputable grading service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. They'll evaluate your coin, assign a grade, and give you an official certification that can help you get top dollar. Once your coin is graded, you can start thinking about selling it. There are a few options here. You could sell it through a coin dealer who will usually offer a fair price but will take a commission for their services. Or you could auction it off through a major auction house, where it could go to the highest bidder. The most famous sales of these pennies have been through auctions. So if your penny is in great shape, this could be your best route. Just remember, do your research. Don't just take the first offer you get. Compare prices from various sources, and make sure you're getting the most for your rare coin. If you're out there hunting for valuable coins, you might be wondering where to look. While it's always great to check through your old change jar, there are other places where rare coins might turn up, like estate sales, flea markets, and online auctions. Many people don't realize the value of their old coins, so you might find hidden treasures in places you least expect. Also, don't forget about coin roll hunting. Sometimes, by simply going through rolls of pennies, you might find that rare gem with a minting error. It's all about patience, knowledge, and a bit of luck. So, now that you know how to identify, value, and sell a 1995 D Lincoln penny with a possible $5 million value, it's time to get searching. Check your change, check your collections, and start looking for those rare treasures that might be hiding right under your nose. Make sure to hit that like button if you found this video helpful, and don't forget to subscribe for more tips on rare coins and how to sell them for top dollar. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you have questions about other valuable pennies in your collection. We've got something truly mind-blowing. A Lincoln penny from 1997 with a D mint mark that could be worth a staggering $7 million. That's right, $7 million. So, grab a seat, grab your coins, and let's dive into the world of rare pennies, how to spot them, and what to do if you find one of these elusive treasures. Let's go. You might be thinking, how could a 1997 D Lincoln penny possibly be worth that much? After all, 1997 pennies are commonly found in your pocket change. So what makes this one so special? Well, my friends, here's where things get interesting. Most 1997 D pennies are worth just 1 cent, but a very rare error coin has emerged over the years, and it's causing quite a stir in the coin world. A small percentage of these pennies were minted with a unique flaw, making them incredibly rare and valuable. So rare, in fact, that one recently sold for a whopping $7 million. The error in question has to do with a misstrike during the minting process. These rare coins were mistakenly struck with a combination of unique die errors, creating a penny that stands out like no other. And with only a few known examples in existence, the value skyrocketed as collectors and investors scrambled to get their hands on one. Now, You might be wondering, how can I spot one of these rare 1997 D pennies? That's what we're going to cover next. First things first, it's important to understand the basics of a 1997 D penny. So let's break it down. Look at the mint mark. This is the letter D on the bottom right of Abraham Lincoln's shoulder. This indicates the coin was minted at the Denver Mint. But don't get too excited just yet. Most 1997 D pennies will look like this one. Just a regular penny with no special value. So, what's the exact error that makes these coins worth millions? It's a combination of the following things. A double die error, which causes the image of Lincoln's portrait to appear doubled or shifted. A specific grease-filled die error, which causes parts of the coin's design to be missing or blurry. Some examples feature off-center strikes, where the coin wasn't aligned properly when it was struck, creating a distorted image. Cut to detailed visuals of these specific errors on a coin, highlighting the details. These errors are very subtle, and finding one can be a challenge. You need to carefully examine the coin's surface and design under magnification. The key signs to look out for are a misalignment of the lettering, double images of Lincoln's profile, or missing details in the lettering or the date. So, why is this 1997 D penny worth $7 million? To understand this, we need to talk about the rarity of these coins. As I mentioned earlier, there are only a handful of known examples in existence. The rarity factor plays a huge role in the coin's high value. Not only is the 1997 D penny rare, but it also has a fascinating backstory. Coins like this are highly sought after by serious collectors and investors looking to add one-of-a-kind pieces to their portfolios. When these types of coins come up for auction, they often fetch millions of dollars due to the bidding wars that take place among collectors. Now that you know how to identify a rare 1997 D penny, let's talk about what you can do if you find one, or suspect you have one. Selling rare coins like this can be a bit tricky, so it's important to know your options. You've got a few different ways to sell your coin, but remember, the more rare and valuable the coin, the more you should take your time and approach the sale strategically. Finding a reputable dealer can be a great way to get a fair price for your coin. However, dealers may offer you less than what you could get at auction since they need to make a profit themselves. Websites like eBay can connect you with collectors all over the world. But make sure to take great photos and write a detailed description of the coin's condition and rarity. Coin auctions. For highly valuable coins, auction houses are often the best option. Big auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have specialized departments for rare coins and can bring in top-dollar offers. Be sure to have your coin professionally appraised, especially if you think it could be worth a lot of money. Appraisers can provide an official valuation, which can help ensure you're not selling it for less than it's worth. If you have a 1997 D Lincoln penny or any other rare coins lying around, don't just toss them into a jar or leave them collecting dust. Take the time to examine them carefully, and if you find anything unusual or valuable, don't hesitate to get it appraised. And remember, when selling rare coins, always take your time, work with trusted professionals, and get multiple opinions to ensure you're making the best deal. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell to get notified about more tips on rare coins and collectibles. Have you ever found a coin worth more than face value? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. We're diving into one of the rarest pennies of the 21st century, the 2006 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny that could be worth an astonishing $6 million. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on rare coin finds and hidden treasures. Let's get started. The 2006 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny may seem like just another coin, but it's one that sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. To understand its worth, we need to go back to the basics. In 2006, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies. Most of them were standard issues, circulating widely across the country. But here's where things get interesting. A small number of 2006 D pennies were struck incorrectly, resulting in a huge spike in their value. So, let's break down why this penny is special. At first glance, the 2006 D penny looks like any other. However, certain 2060 coins have an error that has caused a stir among collectors. These pennies, known as double die varieties, have an issue with the die that was used to strike them. The result? A distinctive, noticeable doubling effect on the lettering and details on the obverse side, especially on Liberty and In God We Trust. If you have a 2006 penny with visible doubling like this, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Now, what makes this even more fascinating is that fewer than 100 of these error coins are known to exist in circulation today, making them incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. So, what's the value of a 2006 penny with this error? Well, when coins like this make it to the auction block, they can fetch unbelievable prices. Some of these error pennies have been sold for tens of thousands of dollars, and the highest-priced examples have even been known to top $6 million at private auctions. That's right, $6 million. A coin worth just 1 cent could become your ticket to a fortune. But to get that kind of value, you need to ensure you've got an authentic error penny and that it's in the best possible condition. Now, let's talk about how you can identify a genuine 2006 double die Lincoln penny. Here are a few key signs to look for. Look closely at the inscriptions on the obverse, specifically Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date. If you notice any doubling, especially if the letters are split or shadowed, that's a good sign you've got an error coin. Check for signs of wear. While some error coins are in pristine condition, others might show wear and tear due to circulation. This doesn't necessarily reduce the value, but it's important to know the condition of your coin. Finally, examine the edges of the coin. A true double die error will have doubled features all the way around the image, not just in one isolated area. If you think you've found a rare 2006 penny, it's time to get it authenticated. The best way to do this is to take it to a professional numismatist or have it graded by the experts at PCGS or NGC. They'll give you an official grade and verify whether your coin is worth the big bucks. Now, if you've got one of these valuable error pennies, you might be wondering how to sell it. The process isn't as simple as just listing it online. You'll want to make sure you're getting the best price. Get it graded. Before you sell, make sure your coin is graded by a professional. This will help you establish its authenticity and value. Auction houses, high-end auction houses, like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers, are great places to sell rare and valuable coins. They specialize in numismatic items and can get you the best price. Dealers and coin shows. Alternatively, you can sell directly to coin dealers or at coin shows. While they might not fetch as much as at an auction, they can still offer a fair price. Online marketplaces. For those of you who want to sell online, sites like eBay, Etsy, or specialized coin auction platforms like Great Collections can help connect you with buyers. Regardless of how you sell, make sure to do your research and get an understanding of the coin's market value before making any decisions. That's it for today's video on the 2006 Lincoln 1-cent penny that could be worth millions. If you think you might have one of these rare error coins, I highly recommend getting it checked out. It could be your ticket to an incredible windfall. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, where we'll dive into even more coin treasures. We've got an exciting topic that could change the way you look at your pennies forever. Imagine this, a 2007 Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny worth $7 million. Yes, you heard that right, $7 million. Stay tuned because we're going to dive deep into how this coin went from a simple penny to an extraordinary fortune. Let's start with a bit of background. The 2007 Lincoln 1-cent penny, like many pennies produced at the Denver Mint, was minted in the usual numbers as part of regular coin circulation. But for collectors and coin enthusiasts, there's something incredibly special about certain pennies produced in 2007. Now, before you rush to check your pennies, I'm sure you're wondering what makes this specific coin so valuable. This is a standard 2007 Mint Mark Lincoln penny. It features the familiar Lincoln Memorial on the reverse and the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. Nothing too out of the ordinary, right? Now, here's where the story gets interesting. Most 2007 pennies are worth, well, just 1 cent. But there's a rare error that took place in that year that could make your 2007 D penny worth a small fortune. We're talking about an extremely rare double die reverse error. In a double die reverse, the design on the reverse of the coin gets struck twice during the minting process. This results in the letters and details looking doubled, or sometimes even blurry. It's a very distinct and noticeable error, and finding one of these is like finding a needle in a haystack. Now, here's where things get really exciting. The first time the 2007 D double die reverse penny was discovered, it caused a huge buzz in the numismatic community. Imagine the excitement of a collector finding this error in their change or in a roll of pennies from the bank. The news spread like wildfire, and before long, people began checking their coins more carefully. It wasn't just a minor error either. These double die reverse pennies quickly gained attention not only from collectors but also from investors and dealers. In fact, one of these coins was sold at auction for an incredible $7 million. So, if you have one of these coins, you could be sitting on a life-changing amount of money. Now, you're probably asking, how can I tell if my 2007 D penny is worth millions? Well, I've got you covered. First, let's look at the reverse side of the penny. Pay special attention to the words E pluribus unum and the United States of America. If you see a noticeable doubling in these words, that's your clue. The doubling will be most noticeable on the upper portions of the lettering. Look carefully at the U and M in E pluribus unum, and at the A in America. These should appear slightly doubled or misaligned. If you spot this, you've got yourself an error coin. Now that you know how to spot a 2007 D double die reverse penny, let's talk about value. As I mentioned earlier, these rare coins have sold for staggering amounts. $7 million to be precise. But don't just expect to find a buyer willing to pay that much immediately. The value can vary depending on the condition of the coin, its provenance, and how the auction market shifts over time. Coins like this one are usually sold at specialized numismatic auctions, where collectors and investors from around the world gather. The value can range anywhere from thousands to millions, depending on the rarity and condition. So, you found a 2007 D double die reverse penny, what now? You might be wondering how to sell such a valuable piece of history. Well, let's go over the best places to do so. First off, you can sell your coin through online marketplaces like eBay, but be sure to do your research first. You'll want to look at listings of similar error coins to get an idea of pricing. If you're looking for a more direct route, consider working with a reputable coin dealer or auction house specializing in rare coins. Some well-known auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stax Bowers are the go-to places for high-value coins. These professionals will help you find the right buyer and maximize your sale price. Before you rush off to sell your coin, here are some tips to make sure you get the best deal. First, have your coin professionally graded. A grade from a trusted organization like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, will give buyers confidence in the authenticity and quality of the coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable your coin will be. Next, be prepared to provide documentation about the coin's provenance, which could further boost its value. Lastly, always get multiple offers before making a sale to ensure you're getting the best price. Alright folks, there you have it. The 2007 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny with the double die reverse error could be worth up to $7 million. So, if you have one of these pennies sitting around, take a closer look and see if it's your ticket to a fortune. Don't forget to subscribe for more coin tips, and if you have any questions or want to share your own coin finds, drop a comment below. Who knows? You could be the next coin millionaire. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I've got a jaw-dropping story for you, something you won't want to miss. We're talking about a coin that's worth an astonishing $7 million. Yes, you heard that right. A 2017 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny worth millions. But before you dismiss this as a fantasy, stick with me as we explore how this penny became so valuable, and how you might have one sitting right in your collection without even knowing it. The myth of the 2017 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. First things first. Let's talk about why the 2017 D Lincoln penny is so special. Now, when most people think of rare pennies, they think of coins from the 1800s or early 1900s. But what about a modern penny? One that's barely a decade old. Well, the 2017 D-Mint Mark penny isn't just any penny. It's a prime example of a coin that was accidentally struck in a way that makes it incredibly rare and valuable. In 2017, a series of production errors at the Denver Mint led to a very unique batch of pennies. These pennies were supposed to have the normal design, but some of them were missing important features, like the mint mark, or had unusual errors in their strikes. Now, this doesn't happen every day, so it's important to understand why this mistake turned out to be worth so much. Understanding coin errors and their value. Coin errors are often the key to turning an ordinary piece of currency into a multi-million-dollar treasure. The error on the 2017 D penny was significant. You see, a double die error can make a coin extremely rare. In the case of this penny, the design was incorrectly stamped multiple times, leading to extra details, such as double letters or numbers, making it worth far more than its face value. Here, you can see the doubling effect on Lincoln's beard and the date. These are subtle errors that most people wouldn't notice, but they're precisely what collectors are looking for. And when they show up in a coin as modern as 2017, it's a game changer. Why this coin is worth $7 million? So, why does this penny have a price tag of $7 million? Well, it's not just the error itself. The rarity of this specific coin comes from how few examples there are in circulation. Out of the millions of pennies minted that year, only a handful, yes, just a handful, were produced with this kind of mistake. Because of the error and the scarcity, collectors are willing to pay top dollar for them. The bidding wars have gone crazy, and some of these pennies have sold for as much as $7 million in private auctions. Imagine having one of these rare coins in your collection and finding out it's worth millions. That's why coin collectors and investors are paying attention to every detail of their collections, looking for these kinds of errors that can lead to a massive payday. How to spot a valuable coin in your collection now? You might be wondering, how can I tell if I've got one of these valuable pennies in my own collection? Well, it's easier than you think, but it does require some attention to detail. Let's break it down. The 2017 D-Mint Mark penny is important. But remember, it's not just any 2017 penny. It needs to be from the Denver Mint. If you have a 2017 penny with no mint mark or with an unusual feature, it could be worth something more. Look closely at the design on Lincoln's portrait, the date, or the lettering. A double die error can be subtle, but the difference is visible under magnification. Coins that are in mint condition, uncirculated or near perfect condition, will bring in higher bids. How to sell your coins for maximum profit? If you've got an old coin that you think might be worth a lot, how do you get the best price for it? Here are some tips for selling your rare coins for top dollar. Before you think about selling, it's important to have your coin professionally graded by a company like PCGS or NGC. A high grade will increase the value significantly. Not all coin buyers are created equal. Some specialized buyers may offer a lot more for rare coins, so do your research and reach out to reputable coin dealers and auction houses. Platforms like eBay or Heritage Auctions allow collectors to bid against each other, driving up the price of your coin. Final thoughts: don't miss out on hidden treasure, just imagine it. What if you have a 2017 D-Mint Mark penny with a minting error sitting in your collection? You could be sitting on a $7 million treasure without even knowing it. So, take the time to go through your old coins, examine them closely, and get them checked out by professionals. Who knows? You could be the next person to discover that rare, life-changing coin. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update on rare coins and their incredible values. If you found any interesting coins in your collection, let me know in the comments below. I love hearing your stories.